welcome then to the final game of Holden's 2014 Origin. The crowd has swung from maroon to blue, and the Maroons kick off and Gallen brings it back. First play of game 102 and the 50th game played here at Suncorp come Lang Park, or vice versa, as Hoffman brings it away to the 20-metre line there. Brilliant in game two. I think he took out the Players' Player Award. And here is Gallen again, the second carry. In fact, took one and took three to the 30-metre line. And then to Bird and Bird away. To Reynolds to go away, and Scott is with the ball. And Scott has got Guerra and Thurston with him, together with Greg Inglis, and they get played down quite nicely beyond the halfway line, and that's a very good piece of territory picked up by the number 9, Robbie Farah. They're down on the 40-metre line. 5 tackles gone. That's as good a set as you get. As Hayne goes to the air, and coming away is Billy Slater to fly high, taking the ground immediately. Players coming from an onside position, Hodkinson and Bird, and now for Chambers. Play just inside the 30-metre line is Nate Miles. Played the ball right in the middle of the 4X sign. One of the chief sponsors, of course, of the Queensland side, together with Amy. Corey Parker now. Aaron Woods in the tackle. The only forward for New South Wales in the run onside under 30. Cameron Smith now, taken by Greg Bird, played back to Thurston, halfway line. Cronk sets himself to kick, thinks I can run a few paces before I kick, does that. Ball goes down to Hayne, inside 10, comes towards 20, beats Guerra, who'll come again and get him. And Jonathan Thurston got hit in the collision as well. So Hayne plays the ball on the 30-metre line, and Dugan goes away. Josh Dugan, today in the newspapers, he's not quite sure whether he wants to go back to fullback or not when he goes home to St George. And I noticed that Paul McGregor is of the opinion that he will go back to one. It's gone away from Hodkinson, away to Hoffman. There they go again, hitting down that left side with Hoffman looking for the number 7. It was Cherry Evans in Sydney. Tonight it's Cooper Cronk. Here's Woods. Aaron playing it back to Robbie Farah. Tiger to Tiger. And then Hodkinson high. Down to Slater, and the New South Welshman went spearing through. It was Jared Hayne.
Well, there's a definite pressure release on show here tonight. We've seen more passes in the opening couple of minutes than we have in the first half in Sydney. Obviously, both teams prepared to throw the ball around.
Darius Boyd, birthday coming up next week for him. 14 tries in Origin. He's only one behind Greg, and Greg has played 4 matches more of Origin than Darius. Now Guerra. So the Rooster plays the ball inside the half by about 5 or 6 metres, and it goes down and bounces kindly away to Hayne. But Thurston is down there with Inglis, and they put him away. So McManus on recall to Origin from Newcastle, born in Scotland. Into the middle of the 30-metre line, James McManus there. Now Daniel Tupou, so wing to wing. Referees warning the players to use their feet in playing the ball. They're not looking for imitation play the balls anymore. They're looking for a foot to be used. Bird is pushing and shoving Smith out of the road so they can get a quick play the ball going. Such wasn't the case, and Hayne is with the ball now. Live and exclusive around Australia on 9. Origins 3. Hodkinson, one of the heroes of Origin 2. It's Chambers who picks it up and brings it some 27 metres out from his own line.
And just to illustrate your point, Wally, every player on the New South Wales side has had a touch in the first 3.5 minutes. Been a very positive start from both states tonight. Cameron Smith finding Guerra down the shorter side. He gets rid of Josh Reynolds. But Bo Scott came in to help along with Josh Dugan.
So Thurston's got the ball. He's turned it on the inside for Jacob Lillyman. Representing the Warriors, of course, in this match. And the penalty goes off the whistle there of Sutton. And it's against Greg Bird. for holding down.
Well, a bit of an indication that Jonathan Thurston, New South Wales are not going to allow him plenty of time to run with the football. Last time he carted it across the field, he let go of the ball and was given a special invitation to taste the grass.
Yeah, but front rowers like Aaron Woods, they don't need much of an invitation.
Corey Parker there. Held just inside the 30-metre line. Woods over the top with his other prop. Paul Gallen, Greg Bird involved, plays in the centre of the ground, 25 away from the New South Wales line, down at the Caxton Street end of the ground, and here's Thaiday. Trying to get a quick play the ball on, does that, played on the 20-metre line, switching crosses Hodges from the back, and then Thurston out, then the Slater to Ingles. Ingles looks for try 16. Has he got the ball down? I think it was lost.
He's lost it. He's actually chasing the New South Wales player who picked it up.
Yep.
And that's in the case he hasn't scored.
Tackle 3. I have no try.
And I think you find James McManus does a great job here.
You saw Thurston get the ball and he was thinking kick. And McManus, he read that off Thurston, went back for the kick, and Thurston decided to run the ball and got Inglis away. And the strength of Inglis, look at him manhandle Jared Hayne there. Does he get the ball down?
No, James
There's no
McManus.
control over that.
James McManus actually knocks it out. And as I say, whilst there's a couple of New South Wales players in there, certainly Jared Hayne, just have a look at the number 2, James McManus, how he rolls Greg Inglis towards the sideline to get the ball away from the ground. And then his hand will touch the football as it comes out.
But it's pretty obvious that Reynolds, I feel anyway, fell on it in the in goal. No tries ruled. So Greg is denied one more on this record that he holds of 15 in Origin football.
Challenge on the kicker, nothing like.
Okay, Benny?
And that's ruled a loose carry.
Zero tackle. Hold in, mate. Hold. No.
Well, that surprises me because I would have thought that they intentionally stole the ball. But loose carry is similar to an incident in Origin 2 with Sam Thaiday, you might remember. Something they're still talking about, everybody in rugby league. Out away for Greg Burden, he thumps it up through the middle, 35 metres out from his own line. Origin 3 out of Suncorp Stadium. And Gallen it stands and unloads, stands and delivers. And now Tane, who tries to skip his way across the halfway. Thaiday was there, Miles as well. Tane will play the ball. 5 into Queensland's area. There goes Hoffman again. Play the ball inside the 40-metre line. Born down in the national capital, out at Woden Valley. And now it comes away. It's gone from Reynolds across to Dugan. But Dugan got the ball a little bit late and very much in traffic. And Boyd put him away. So Gallen again, look at the workload he's already starting to put together in the space of something like 7 minutes. How many carries is that for him as it comes away from the boot of Hodkinson? It's going down into the corner. Chambers, no pressure. No contest at all there. Down in the northeastern corner, this is Hodges. And the penalty goes to Queensland.
Yeah.
10 metres is the rule. Darren Lockyer, comment, sideline.
Yeah, this current Queensland team, we're so used to some of these names have been around for a long time. There's been a bit of talk about the new brigade. It's a big night for them. Guys like Will Chambers, Aidan Guerra, Cherry Evans and Jill. A bit of an eye of the future there. I guess tonight's a big occasion for them.
2 penalties of the match. Both have gone to Queensland.
Got a spot.
Here it is, wait for the tap.
Gallen's figures read at 6 and 4, by the way, to answer my own question. Here's Thaiday to the halfway line. And it's a penalty going to Queensland, so make that 3-0.
I thought Paul Gallen was going to get marched there, but he certainly went up and questioned the referee about that decision.
Wonderful crowd. Smith then. And It's Jacob Lillyman leading with that right shoulder, and he's run into the waiting tackle of Aaron Goods. Here's Friday coming down the short side, 18 metres away from the Blues line. Who's going to strike first? Cronk then drifts across, goes short into Miles, and he'll play the ball. 10 out, right in front of the uprights. Miles, and it goes away to first, and then the Guerra around the back. Slater. Here's Inglis stepping up his left foot, still reeling around. He's been round a couple of times. Now playing the ball back to Boyd. Boyd goes long. Cronk goes across the top, and he's got Hodkinson stretching. So they get the next best result, and it's a line dropout.
Yeah, great defence from New South Wales. The left side of Queensland putting plenty of questions to the edge defence of New South Wales. They defended well. Spread play there, and look at the danger here of Greg Inglis. And then the Melbourne Storm play. Kick for the far post there, but great vision there from Hodkinson.
Hodkinson it is from under the bar. It's only going to go a couple of, just outside the 40-metre line to keep it simple. Lillyman makes good ground. It's a run of over 13 metres from Lillyman on the carry back. Now for Miles again. Very prominent, the Titans front row forward. So from Smith, it's found Cronk again. Goes behind Friday, out to Slater, and now it's out to Hodges. He's eventually forced back by Hodkinson and Tupou. So Cameron Smith then to Cooper Cronk. He dummies once, goes to the second man, running an angle back on the inside, Nate Miles. And Woods upends him with Bird. And Smith comes on to Cronk again. Now to first, and here they come again. The ball has been knocked out by the tackle of Beau Scott. And it's a knock-on against Queensland.
Yeah, great defence. He was looking for that cutout pass. I think he was looking for that cutout pass we were talking about in the pre-game. We double pumped. And he saw James McManus flying off his wing the last minute. This is the tackle from Greg Bird, and his teammate lifts him up, turns him over. There's great inside pressure here from the defence. I think that's Beau Scott. Sometimes defenders can get caught watching the ball and get mesmerised by the ball weaving around. That time Beau Scott had eyes for the target. Short one. Great defence.
Queensland loving to work to the left-hand side. Just wondering how short it will be before we see Greg Inglis being used as a decoy runner. They've gone to him 4 or 5 times so far with no effect for the Queensland team.
Certainly seen plenty of ball, hasn't he, Greg? It's James McManus now. And a penalty goes, the first of the night to New South Wales. Gerard Sutton.
Well, nothing will build your confidence more in an Origin game than stout defence early on. They've been under plenty of pressure the last 5 to 10 minutes, New South Wales. Greg Inglis got over the line, couldn't get the football down. Now some breathing space for the Blues as they take the tap just inside their 40. Hoffman takes it forward.
Hoffman is met willingly by Lillyman together with Friday and Miles. New South Wales then pressing across the halfway line with Woods. With he and Farah named in the Tiger side for Friday night against Manly. Reynolds back now to Hayne, and he pushes away from Guerra. Then he tries to go through the tackle of Parker. Put down on the 40-metre line, Queensland's end. So they've had the best of the territory, Queensland. Here's Gallen again, down to the 30-metre line. Middle of the ground, Farah dummies to Wood. Finds Bird. Bird goes away. Hodkinson holds the ball back and tries to fool them. Josh Morris riding shotgun for him. Hayne was a dummy half. It went away to Farah. Farah puts a kick in, and Slater's let it bounce, and it's gone bouncing away in touch and goal. My goodness, that was dangerous.
Oh, never in doubt. Never in doubt. Obviously knew every blade of grass out here. Chose to let the ball bounce into touch. Much to
What about that?
What was that?
He had a word to Will Chambers. He's got the ball out of dummy half now. So it's a lack of communication.
It was communication breakdown. So we're back at the centre of the halfway. Wally, I think, aged a couple of years Well, that ball bounced away in touch and go. Here's Lillyman with the ball on the New South Wales red line.
Mal Meninga turned 54 yesterday. He nearly turned 55 then.
And so here's Cameron looking to put a ball, or Cronk's down. Cronk's down in back play. And here's Greg Inglis getting away, and he's still going. He's down to the 10. Got it to Thurston. Thurston crawling his way towards the line. Held up in goal is the call.
Tackle 5, Jonathan Thurston. Time off.
Cronk is still down in back
Easy,
play.
boys. 1 foot tread.
Brilliant work from Greg Inglis. Very involved tonight. Straight through the meat of the New South Wales defence, and Jonathan Thurston doing his best to get there. And again, it's McManus and Bird who've come in to save the day. Here we go. Last tackle.
So Cronk it is. Puts a little kick over. It's still there. Stacks on the mill. Guerra's put a hand on it. What's the referee going to say?
Signal. Try. No try.
What's he saying?
Bernie, run last tackle on the kick. Have a try.
He's got a try.
Review the onside and contest.
Check onside, check contest.
This was the last tackle after the break in play. Chasers are all onside. It's a deliberate kick back into the centre of the field. And we're going to have a look here as to whether there's a knock on anywhere, or that's gone
No, that's going backwards. Then it's a kick that's alive, that's still alive. And Guerra's onside there from the last man that kicked it, and it's a try. Gerard Sutton's got it right. Looking at everything that's unfolding on replay. Cronk was winded, by the way. I should tell you, it wasn't the arm, he was winded.
Billy Slater is definitely onside. He timed his run as usual, perfectly behind the kick from Cooper Cronk.
That's gone back off Slater.
It's onside.
Now, apparently the problem's with Thurston. No try. So they've overruled. Bernard Sutton and Luke Patton have overruled
Jonathan's
on the
in front
position
and
of
with
Jonathan
intent.
Thurston. So Jonathan Thurston is the reason that Queensland have had the try disallowed. We'll certainly be going back to that during half-time. To show it to you again. It was all happening so quickly though, wasn't it? It was frantic out there. Second tackle here now for the Blues. 35 out from their own line. Farrell's doing well out of dummy half. There's another 10, 15 metre run to the halfway line. Dugan quickly to Woods. Guerra there with Miles. And the youngster from West Tigers continue to make an impression. And then Hodkinson for Hayne to come in. They've gone to Josh Morris, and over there is Justin Hodges. Just outside the 30 metre line. This is the last. Coming up for the men in sky blue. And Hayne puts a kick in, and it's gone very, very high. Still coming down. Here it is. And Chambers is the man with it.
Yeah, Rex, Josh Morris back from that knee injury. Noticeably limping. That left leg heavily strapped. Put Hodges on then on the outside. They've re-injured that left knee.
He looks as though he's certainly favouring that knee. In back play, there was a shot off him. Littleman again grits the teeth and brings it out to the 30 metre line. Again, the player's been recalled to Origin because the coaches know that he can handle Origin. Special footballers, they never lose that respect of the coach. Once you've shown that you can play this game, a lot of times they go back looking for you. Just like James McManus on the other side of the halfway line. Played by Daniel Tupou now. It's Hayne.
First interchange from New South Wales. James Tamo out there for Aaron Woods. Good opening stint. Young Tiger Woods. As Dugan finds Tamo his first touch of the night.
It caused quite a stir, really, didn't he, with a comment that he made to the press regarding his opinion of Jared Hayne compared to his Cowboys captain Jonathan Thurston. I don't know that would worry Thirsty too much. It's not a good caper really to criticise champions at any time. They're likely to finish up putting egg on your face. Here's Gallen now talking of captains, just outside 40. Farrell's gone away to Reynolds, and again they go high. They're really sending it way down the ground and very high. A lot of hang time, which gives this line, this blue line, plenty of time to get down there.
And that was a pretty good kick that went up as well. It was a floater. It wasn't an easy ball to catch. Slater took his time.
18 minutes gone and no score. And if there are 18 points or less scored in this match, it will then be the lowest series aggregate points ever in Origin. 39 points were scored, 39 points in aggregate in 1992. So 18 is the magic number if we're going to come down to least number of points scored in Origin. Slater. The crowd just waiting for something to crack. And here is Cronk doing nicely, getting around the oncoming defence, and it's gone down to Tupou to bring it out from the deep. And he'll play the ball just outside with the legs being raised, so it's held.
Josh Morris coming in to get involved. New South Wales have actually made a defensive change out there. They've moved Trent Hodkinson from the left side of the field and brought him over to the right side of defence. And swapped his Canterbury teammate Josh Reynolds to the other side.
Tamo again. And back towards the halfway line. Farrell, then Hodkinson outside, back inside for Hayne. They played together many times as kids, apparently, Hodkinson and Hayne, down in the Cabramatta club. Josh Reynolds now, back for Hayne, back to Hodkinson, and he rubber kicks and puts it over the touchline on the 20-metre line. Origin 3 from Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, live and exclusive across Australia and to many countries around the world. And the ball being played here at 0-0, and it's gone back to Thurston. Slater comes in, Hodges is with the ball. He knows he's got Josh Morris disadvantaged, takes him on. Brett Finch sideline a comment.
Yeah, Ray, some people may mention a dead rubber, but the intensity down here and the atmosphere in the crowd is electric. So it's just as like it's a game one or it's like it's a decider. It's fantastic down here, and as you can see by both teams, they're right into it.
Thurston drifting. Cronk in, dummies once to Guerra, goes the next time to Inglis, and hitching a ride there is Reynolds, down to the 30-metre line, but they've got a quick play the ball out of Inglis. Parker's pass has gone astray, picked up by Nate Miles, and Miles looks to unload, knows there was a chance on the right, plays it on the 20-metre line. They go to the right now, Cronk immediately cross kicks back. Oh, beautiful take by Josh Dugan, and Dugan's outside the 30-metre line, and Queensland's defence is very quick to react.
It's an excellent counter-attack from Josh Dugan, and one that's needed. Because at the moment, 0-0 is a good scoreline for New South Wales. Queensland have had more possession, but they are on top in this game and looking more dangerous with the football. Blues need to work their way back into this.
Running a long way. Bit of tiredness maybe starting to creep into the legs of some of them. Paul was able to run for quite some distance then. Here's Reynolds popping the ball to Scott, gets it back to Reynolds. Reynolds goes out the back and gets the ball away to Dugan. Dugan gets away from Guerra, then he's taken down. So 25 metres out from the Queensland line, and Hodkinson kicking down into the in goal. Chambers in the field of play. It's tackled, it's a penalty.
Leave it.
New South Wales player in back play down as they do a bit of pushing and shoving, which is nothing new, but Hodkinson taken late. And here is the incident on replay. So the Canterbury halfback, and it's high from Ben Teo, who's just made his way into the game.
It's high contact, it's been reviewed. High contact on the kicker. on report, and there'll be a penalty.
The state of the game and the chances that Queensland have had thus far, this would be a good lead for the Blues.
He's 11 metres in from touch, and it's a great kick. Flags in the air, and we've got points on the board. 24 minutes into the game, New South Wales 2-0. Bob Fulton talking there behind Laurie Daly.
While we heard Cameron Smith having a word to the referee as the penalty was awarded, I'm voting for him next election. He is the best politician we have in the game.
Goes all right. Yep, his complaint was about what about when it happened to us, sir? Cooper Cronk was left on the ground. He didn't call it up. He goes all right, actually.
Play.
Hodges.
Penalty there. Shoulder charge against Hodges. And again, there's a flare up. It's about as much as we're going to get.
Just hold up there, but
So let's have a look and see what it was with Paul Gallen. Well, there's the shoulder charge from Hodges.
Oh, the fail to find touch. Billy Slater bringing it back at speed.
So Slater will be tackled 5 metres into New South Wales territory.
play the ball.
Here's Ben Teo now, running at Greg Bird, and Bird upends him and puts him away with the help of Paul Gallen. Now Corey Parker, just outside 30. Third tackle gone, so they move closer to the back end of the set. It's Friday. Gallen hanging on, but just outside 20. Parker drives the wedge and gets it back to Miles. Nate playing his 26th Origin match tonight. And the Blue player Bird lying on the ground. As Thurston gets a dubious pass, and then it goes bouncing away, right back, and he's offside.
That's offside, surely.
I would have thought he was offside.
Yeah, they're about to pull it up now.
Crowd animated, to say the least.
Penalty to Brisbane. I'm not arguing. We made the call. Offside.
So the penalty goes to Queensland.
Interesting decision. They're not interested in squaring the scores. Queensland are trying to get across the line.
So it's Parker. And away to Smith, and he did well, Corey. It's gone from Cronk and out to Ben Teo. So Teo is 5 metres out from the line. Queensland are down, 2 points to 0. As it comes away from Smith and then goes to Cronk. And Parker comes running back towards the upright. Got the ball out again, another great offload by Parker. Guerra's got away from another. And Guerra will play the ball 3 metres from the line. So Smith long into Thurston, and back into Teo they go. Bird, Scott, Farrell bringing to a hole. Smith there, Thurston. He's got Parker on his inside, and Parker is grounded a metre from the uprights. Jared Hayne it was, a try-saving tackle. And Smith fires it away. Deepish out to Thurston. A rubber kick. Cronk it on! Ground the ball, Chambers. Line drop out. Daniel Tupou forcing it dead.
Very skillful work. Cleverly put and placed kick. Tupou just getting back to make contact with the ball. Otherwise, it was heading straight for Chambers' grip. Exceptional defence being displayed by New South Wales. They're under enormous pressure.
Well, that's why New South Wales were blowing up. It was actually Sam Thaiday who batted the ball back to Trent Hodkinson. So a fortunate penalty there, and the pressure now maintained by Queensland. Or as one of the referees referred to them, Brisbane.
So this line dropout has got quite some proportions about it after the bouncing had finished. Went about 65 metres, and Miles has run it back quite a long way. Here is Teo. 30 metres away from the line. Bird around the legs, Tamo over the top. Now for Guerra, he's been strong, he's been a danger. Just inside the 20-metre line. Cameron Smith, Jonathan Thurston. Now it's on to Cooper Cronk. Friday ran a decoy, they cut out Slater, they went away then to Hodges. And Hodges able to get it back and down. And here is Slater now coming back along the 10-metre line. Now he's straightened, still going Billy Slater. Got the ball away, Tio went to pass, went to ground, booted through by Thurston, but it's a knock-on. Knock-on call.
Knock on here.
Josh Dugan coming in, and it's a knock-on that New South Wales will cop because it was danger. Some quality offloads coming from Queensland in the last 5 minutes. Jonathan Thurston tailed it through, but the knock-on from New South Wales earlier.
Bird off.
Put 6 players on 5 defenders, with Boyd and Slater sweeping on the outside to try to free up Will Chambers on the outside.
Queensland, Thurston and then Slater, and the bouncing ball away to Chambers, who played the ball 15 away from the line.
8 miles off, Daly Cherry Evans on.
Hodges is within 5 metres of the line. Josh Morris persevering out there. We're sure he's got some problems with that knee. Here's Friday. Queensland then pressing for their first try. Smith for Cronk. Cronk back and on to Thurston away. Slater catch and pass, and for the corner goes Darius Boyd. Does he roll over and get the ball down?
4.
Held up as
Darius
the call.
Boyd, tackle 4.
Some brilliant defence by New South Wales. This time from Bo Scott.
Yeah, tremendous defence from the Blues.
Back over here.
People during the week talking about dead rubbers.
4, Aiden Guerra.
Does this game mean anything? Look at the desperations. 1, 2, 3, 4 players over there. And Bo Scott. Look at the strength and the technique to hold up Darius Boyd.
Walshy, stay on him. 4.
Ball to the middle of the ground for Tio. New South Wales are seeing plenty of this patch of dirt inside their own 10. Play by Tio. Smith on, Thurston away. They stack the blind side.
That was the last.
And they've withstood the pressure. So it's going to be changeover. And Bo Scott will play the ball.
You ready, mate?
This must be frustrating Queensland no end. Jonathan Thurston's injured.
Well, he copped the cork during the week. He had a collision during an opposed session.
So McManus wriggling along snake-like back of the 10-metre line. And they lose the ball. And it's come down to Cronk. He gives the ball to Justin Hodges. Hodges runs at Josh Morris, who grabs him by the shirt tail. Plays the ball on the 20-metre line. Now for Chambers. 12 out and 20 in. Smith then is going to go back to the short side. And they will hold him in an upright tackle. Hold him up as long as they can to set their line. That they do. Friday for Cronk. David Cherry Evans gave him a detour. Thurston goes away. Slater's there. Here's Inglis again. Here's Greg Inglis. He's looking to get the ball down. But again they hold him up.
3.
Well, he's almost got a nosebleed. He's held up that high off the ground. Exceptional defence from New South Wales. The attack continues from Queensland.
Absolutely marvellous on the right edge. Tio with the ball. They're going back there again. And now it's with Cameron. It's gone over to Thurston, on to Cronk. Now to Billy Slater, and he's cut down. A copybook tackle by Farrell. So Cameron Smith now drives it towards the other side of the ground. And New South Wales have come up with the ball. It'll be played over there by Josh Morris.
Stats guru David Middleton tells us that tackled in opposition 20 is 28-1. Obviously in favour of Queensland. Remarkably, New South Wales lead 2-0.
At least they need their speed man into dummy half. Josh Dugan here taking the load off for the forwards. They need to follow that up with some more dummy half running.
St. Mirren is out there now. Rolled down. What's it do to you mentally? Well, Andrew, Peter, I don't care who answers. What's it do to you? Like 28 times tackled in your opposition 20 and you've only had one go.
Yeah, well, it frustrates the living daylights out of you. It's been exceptional defence.
Chambers came back at 1,000,000 miles an hour and Reynolds took him and Chambers has come off second best. Now, they'll examine this tackle.
That's not a show charge.
Yeah, we got it. Just
Show charge, Ben.
this way, mate.
I'll tell you what. You should look at 1 2 minutes, mate.
Right, mate, I did
Yeah, we'll check.
Smith having plenty to say. Hodges just dropping some evidence into the mind there of referee Cummins. And here's Reynolds coming over.
Well, it's a shoulder
Report.
charge.
Use of the shoulder on report.
I tried to get the arm up.
The penalty, and on report, Reynolds and his tackle on Chambers.
Well, Wally, you're a Queensland man through and through. That's a joke, that rule.
It's well, I've said it for a long, long time, and I know I've agreed with Sterlo. He's heard me say it before. Having a shoulder charge is ridiculous. You can have a shoulder charge when you're carrying the ball and shoulder charge the defender, but you can't do it back to front. Crazy.
As long as you don't make contact with the head.
Exactly.
And if you hit him in the head, a long ban. It's an area of New South Wales defence, close to their line. When they're defending inside their 10-metre, mate, they only have one marker. It puts another defender in the line. That's what's snuffing out the Queensland's attack on the edge.
And here he comes again, Corey Parker. He's become a bit of a go-to man in the last 10 minutes of this game. And a handoff by Teo, finding Smith. And the halves, in fact, that's Luke Lewis going in to make the tackle, but it's a penalty. There's a steal, 2 in the tackle. One of them might have dropped off, but that doesn't make any difference.
And that raid again was all started because of the Corey Parker offload.
The best in the business at it.
Queensland again coming back to familiar territory. Had time to survey this part of the ground. And Daly Cherry Evans comes in now. In much different circumstances than he did in game 1. Here's Thurston. Thurston holding the bag. Inglis came in, has gone into touch. So that might have been a little indication of the frustration that Wally was talking about. So a scrambled form, and Meninga, the big fella, and Michael Hagan just pondering the situation. How many more times can we resist?
Different structure as Brent Tate's looking in from the sideline there with his knee in the brace. Different structure there from Queensland. At time using Greg Inglis swooping around and putting Aidan Guerra in the centres. Just mixing up the shape to try to confuse the edge defence of New South Wales. But once again, great defence.
This is McManus. Well, Cordner, in fact, is out there now. So Boyd Cordner is on, and jumping number 15. And it is with Hoffman now. Cordner will be the youngest player on ground. Daly Cherry Evans, the youngest for Queensland, but he's about 3 years older, I think, than Boyd Cordner. Here's Trent Merrin, 35 away from their own line. They're in front 2-0. That in itself is an incredible scoreboard. You people that have been with us since the kickoff, we've seen it all unfolding. Queensland have been down there, and down there. They've almost taken land rights, but they still haven't been able to get over the line. Here's Justin Hodges now. And what are we looking at? Something like 4.5 minutes to half-time. The ball comes away to Gillett.
Oh, pass.
So Thurston, 20 metres out. And Sloppy played the ball, but Boyd came in, cleaned it up, and got out to the 40-metre line before the defence was able to arrive. Cordner eventually got there. Now Parker drifting across, let Cherry Evans go, gave it to Cronk, gives it on, and Ben Teo now. And he's taken there by Josh Morris.
And right, with Will Chambers off, Matt Gillett is actually playing right wing.
Billy Slater able to get it away. Thurston has to go back to get away from Tamo. Now it's gone on to Parker, so he's got to be contained, but they can't. Again, he drops it out the back, and Dugan got a boot on it. Guerra goes back to pick it up, and so it's cost them some ground here. Guerra on the first tackle, this would do. right on the halfway line. Played back for ball. Cherry Evans rushing away and cutting through. Cherry Evans into the backfield. He kicks into the middle. Cameron Smith and Cooper Cronk. Cameron Smith goes over. The captain has scored. The captain has scored. Cameron Smith had a brilliant slicing run by Daly Cherry Evans.
And some wonderful coaching from Mal Meninga as well. Getting Daly Cherry Evans out there after half an hour. He didn't separate Thurston or Cronk. He just threw Cherry Evans to do something like this in the game on the Harvey Norman replay. Great upper body strength. He could have passed the football just as easily, but he put it on the toe, and Cooper Cronk and Cameron Smith had a fight to get there first. The skipper won.
Jonathan Thurston, who in this series has broken the point scoring record of Mal Meninga. Highest point scorer ever in Origin, Jonathan Thurston. He'll kick this into the crowd at the southern end, which is down at the famous Caxton Street end. Well, there it is off the boot of Thurston. No mistakes. So we've got a converted try just in front of halftime, pleasing the Maroon crowd. The crowd is happy.
Time to run.
They've been probably just as frustrated as their champion team, and they must, all of them, surely be amazed at the resilience of the New South Wales defence. And 6-2 the score in favour of Queensland.
30 seconds to go, Ray. Will Chambers is back out there now. Matt Gillett comes off, and that was a free interchange, obviously. Interchange made because of a foul.
Side-A. We are certainly watching the last set before the break, and here's Daly Cherry Evans. Rostered to play in Friday night's game as well. And against West Tigers, John Thurston away. Another little half circle. Then Daly Cherry Evans hooks it back, taken by Jared Hayne. He'll take the tackle, so that's half time. So just the one try. As I said to you, there's a very good chance this series will represent the lowest aggregate points scored in Origin ever, if in fact it's 18 or less. At the moment, it's 8. That's the magic number. So here we go with the second half, the final half of the Holden State of Origin football for this year. And Queensland running the ball away from the southern end of the ground with Corey Parker, who had a wonderful first half. Then Teo driving it straight up the middle, straight out to the 30-metre line. So on the third play, they're out to the 40-metre line, and better than that, through Cameron Smith. Tackled by Luke Lewis, who had, in fact, won a series before. He was the only one on the squad that had done that back in 2004. Middle of the ground, Cherry Evans, Paul Gallen in a rest period at the moment, and now with Corey Parker up towards the 40-metre line at the other end of the ground, and that's the end of 5. So to the boot of Cooper, and Cronk sends it down over the head of Jared Hayne, but another thing that these great players make look simple, running away, turning around, running away, and then catching the ball. Lovely stuff. This is Daniel Tupou. Rookie at the start of all of this. And come away with the State of Origin medal. Hodkinson, Hoffman, that arm of Ben Teo's crept up a little bit. But wisely, I feel, by the referees, let go. Why wouldn't you? It's Merrin bringing the ball away down the middle. 35 out now from the Blues line. Farrell giving it on to Cordner. Just on his own side of the halfway. And Reynolds puts his kick down into the middle of a circle, a maroon circle, and here's Darius Boyd coming well.
Nowhere near as many metres made with the ball for New South Wales with their first set in this second half. As Will Chambers brings it right-hand side of the field. Queensland, of course, they only used Matt Gillett for a short period of time for Chambers, and still no Dave Taylor into this game.
Daly Cherry Evans now back on the halfway.
Holding here.
He was pulled down when trying to get up by Robbie Farah. So a penalty again goes to Queensland. And Smith will look to find the line here on the western side.
Surprised to see them not come back. Use Justin Hodges on the right-hand side, move to the middle of the field. Hodges has been hard to stop.
Friday at the 20-metre line. On the first, Smith stops, pirouettes, goes back to Friday, goes back and across to Parker. The offload to Jerry Evans, got rid of Reynolds, but he comes in again to get it with Luke Lewis. They're only 5 away from the line, Queensland, and they're going to score an early second half try. Cooper Cronk, he goes the ball out to Chambers. Chambers looking around for support. He finds Justin Hodges. Hodges drifts back, gives it to Billy Slater. Billy Slater cuts from the pieces. Billy Slater has scored his 12th Origin try in game 25.
Off the flattest of passes, New South Wales are not happy. The referee has already blown the try, and it's a great start to the second half. Come out with a lot of energy, Queensland, and on the Harvey Norman replay, cut-out pass, found Will Chambers, who doubled back, who threw it to Justin Hodges, and he throws a very, very flat pass to the try scorer, Billy Slater.
So Thurston to convert, making the job for New South Wales all that much more difficult. It's going to be, you would think, 12-2 after this. And Jonathan doesn't let me down. I thought I might have been putting the hex across him, but so the try of Billy Slater has been converted by Jonathan Thurston. 8:30 tomorrow night. Don't miss the footy shows, plural, that's right, in the NRL version. Blues captain Paul Gallen live. Freddie Fittler gives an amazing insight to tonight. He's been on the field from go to woe. He has been mic'd up. And on the AFL show, Richmond superstar Trent Cotchin is special guest on the AFL show, plus a whole lot more. You may have guessed by that we're going live into GTV and Channel 9 through Victoria tonight. The big and very warm welcome to our viewers down in Victoria. Ben Teo, 25 away from his own line. Last time the Blues came here to Suncorp holding a 2-0 lead in the series was 2003, and they lost the third game 36-6. The Blues over time have held a 2-zip lead on 8 occasions and have managed to win only 3 of the 8. I'm not saying it's going to be 36-6 tonight, but it's certainly much more advantageous now for Queensland. Out of 12 points to 2, a 10-point buffer. Here's Thurston running into vacant space. Cronk is with him, one to draw, throws the dummy and is taken to ground. Oh, that's a hell of a tackle. Thurston could have gone to Cronk, could have gone to the left, but has been pulled down inches short.
On the last tackle, super pass from Cooper Cronk, an out ball, which means that he got his man outside the defenders with the pass. Jonathan will be disappointed. He had an opportunity to throw the ball right at the death, and it would have been a try.
Got up, giving himself a verbal uppercut, there's no doubt about that. Sideline, Darren.
Yeah, you were just talking about it, Ray, but this becomes the ultimate test of New South Wales. I've got the series wrapped up. They're down by 10. Queensland's got the running. Have they got the fight to get it from here?
Corden gone short away to Merrin. Been impressed tonight with some of the determination, the gritty running of Josh Dugan. Again in that unfamiliar jumper, one that he's starting to take a bit of a liking to. Now they're out towards halfway with the 17, Luke Lewis playing the ball. And Reynolds gets a kick in that is raking back and bouncing well for Chambers, and the ground is Haynes.
Hold it, right. Hold it back, John.
Just outside the 20-metre line.
Well, if that's not another shoulder charge, I don't know what is.
It looked very similar, didn't it? It's almost like a lucky dip. There's Hodges. and out towards halfway now. Parker in the middle, again he offloads. Brilliant stuff tonight, absolutely brilliant stuff. And here is Slater now, down to the 40-metre line. Crump kicks over into this corner, and Tupou leaving the ground to take it. And then taking the tackle just outside the 20.
Well, we've got the Coltrane, Dave Taylor, about to come into the game, and the interchange number he is holding up is just number 3. They're almost 50 minutes into this game. So Al hasn't had to go to the bench too often tonight. So they've had the run of play, they've had plenty of ball.
Dave Taylor. Farah. After watching Tony Williams the other night, I'm thinking that Dave might himself finish up getting his wish to play 5/8 or centre. Now it's away from Reynolds and gone on to Hayne and away to Dugan. And Dugan is wrestled down inside the 30-metre line. Terry Parker and Jared Hayne got tangled up off the ball. Now Reynolds puts a kick, he's driven down by Tio, and it's marked by Billy Slater, and Slater running it out quickly to the 20 for the tap. And the officials...
Time off, Josh. Josh. Time off. Time off. Cooper, you got men in front. That's why we
taking it
can't
back
start.
to where the tap was taken. Gallen starts to limber.
Zero tackle.
Scott on his bike.
The reason he wasn't able to take that quick tap was that there were still Queensland players who hadn't come back onside.
The Boyd. Taylor's on for Guerra. Here he is with the ball. And goes for aggressive running with the ball. Might have nearly had the shorts taken from him, but it was full of aggression and enthusiasm. Lillyman getting it on. Inglis crossing halfway. Taken by Lewis. The 14, Tamo. So Queensland now with this lead of 10 points, and Cherry Evans away to Cooper Cronk. And Hodkinson is there to make the tackle together with Hoffman, and they make about 7 or 8 metres in defence on that occasion, leaving it to Hodges to make a run from dummy half. So they're down here on the western side of the ground, and away from Hodges. Thaiday did well, he made an awful pass into something. That's the 30-metre line, but just outside it. Smith then, long to Cronk, then away, Thurston, he kicks, he's looking for Taylor to chase it, and then coming across and putting himself in the line of the oncoming fire from the defence was McManus. Dugan again. Cherry Evans for 14. Lillyman the 8.
All things still being very positive for Queensland. If they're not managing to keep New South Wales in behind the line, the Blues have got to start their attack from 80, 90 metres out. This is tough for them.
Tupou. Farah. Comes left. Hoffman runs at Cronk. 12 inside his own territory. Farah looking at Bird. Bird with it. Friday and Smith. Halfway line. Farah again. Hodkinson. Right foot down in towards the fullback and wing. And Chambers is asked by Slater to take it back. Well, Chambers hasn't let anybody down, that's for sure. It's been an impressive debut for him. Play by Boyd. Now for Taylor. Here we go again. Here we go again. He loses the ball, but he's got plenty of that in him, I've got to say. It doesn't change the fact that you wouldn't like to be standing in front of him. Reynolds then slowly. He's looking very, very tired, Josh Reynolds. Cordner. He's down on his haunches a little bit, and so is Dugan.
Let's get the obvious out of the way. New South Wales must be the next to score if they are any chance in this game.
Bird. 40-metre line. Then for Reynolds. Gallen is back. Flat. Maybe a question mark. 25 out. Farah, blindside, and shaped to take Hayne with him, taking the tackle. Lewis, Reynolds, Cordner, just scraping through down at the 10-metre line, right in the middle of the ground. They're in a good position here, the Blues. Atkinson decides to go aerial, and it's come down off Queensland. Cherry Evans has gone away, but was he onside?
Well, Cherry Evans looked up and he thought, that's a long way to run for a try. This may be an easier version. Take the tackle.
Gillett gave the game a little bit of time earlier. Back now, Chambers. Middle ground then for Queensland. 12-2 the score. Second half try to Slater.
Two in a row.
Taylor's lost it again. I told you, one in, he's got more than one, he's got two.
That's two, you done good. Go through, mate.
His Titans teammate there, Greg Bird, telling Dave Taylor that was two. I'll leave the rest to plenty to say.
I was trying to work. They still play in the same team, don't they?
Yeah.
Gold Coast. That's Origin for you.
Let's go, Josh.
Mate against mate.
Heads into the back. Wait, Josh. Let's go, Billy.
Some running repairs for Chambers. Bird. The more we see of the Blues in this early part of the second half, the defensive record in the first half, the body language I'm looking at is that it has really drained them. Gallen back inside 30, 28 out now.
Well, I think through the middle and on the fringe, Boyd Cordner looks the most likely, Ray.
Well, he's probably got the freshest leg, hasn't he? But Reynolds, Lewis back inside to Graham, pick up a Reynolds, and now it's gone back to Dugan, but no, there's a forward pass.
They're under fatigue, the Blues. That's what fatigue does. It's their attention to detail. A simple pass from dummy half there.
I've listened to you, okay?
What do you do about it? What do you do about it?
Dummy half. Let's go.
Well, Queensland have just played their get out of jail card free there. Back-to-back turnovers. Big Dave Taylor, I'm sure that he'll have one thing in his mind the next time that he carries the ball, not to turn it over. The Blues will not let him out 3 times in a row.
Crowd 50,155. So according to that figure, there are a few thousand seats vacant. I'm not quite sure what the capacity is here.
52 and a half.
Thank you. I knew I could go to you. Here's Queensland then with Greg Inglis down that left side. Tackled on halfway. The tackler was McManus. He's done a good job over there. And this is Boyd with the ball now. Leading 12-2 by 10. Queensland come on to attack again. Miles just outside 30. Farah over the top with Gallen. Smith going across, crabbing to Cronk. He puts a little kick over. Chambers is flying. It's been touched by the Blues. Tupou puts it there. The line drop out.
A deft kick. He's got some reach on him, hasn't he, Daniel Tupou? And he needed all of it here because this was a dangerous situation right in front of you, Brett Finch.
Yeah, guys, the big test here for the Blues. You can tell their body language is down. Not as much talk as there was in the previous Origins. This is what's the great thing about Queensland over their 8-year stint. They never drop their performance, and this is a big test for the Blues to keep at the same level they have in games 1 and 2.
7 times, only 7 times in Origin history has there been a whitewash. 4 for Queensland, 3 for New South Wales. And it seems just at this moment that the 7 zip is going to remain. Played by Nate Miles. And a dummy to Lillyman from Smith, and it goes behind Cherry Evans and goes on to Thurston, and then it goes away to Slater. But it's gone to Grant. There's a chance here for Josh Dugan. No, he can't pick it up. Knock on then.
What's happened here? It's got to be up here, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I think Dugan got a touch to it first and would have been a knock-on anyway. So whilst he's disappointed,
We always play up, mate. In there.
I think in making the tackle or going up to make the tackle, he actually touched it.
Yeah, and they're taking it back to that point, Peter. You're quite right. See, this, as I said, it's mandatory. When I say that, that's the way they rule all the time. A defender making a tackle that has been offloaded, it's deemed to be a knock-on. a question about whether it's a loose carry, anything like that.
Well, everybody is shaping to come across this right-hand side from the scrum win from Queensland. They've had success with this play in both games.
So it's 5 on 5 that I can count now as Slater goes on. Here's Boyd with the ball. Morris is with him. Hoffman's come across. 16 now. Queensland then looking for number 3. And Gillett taken down on 10. And New South Wales are going to have a foot on the line. And that they do as it goes on to Cronk. It goes behind Terry Evans, then Thurston Miles. Miles comes back. Oh, Miles picked up and dropped on the ball of his back.
Easy.
And this will bring a penalty. Greg Bird is probably the man they're going to talk to here.
What for? Putting in a dangerous position. Let's go.
So there's 2 teams. Go back. Go back.
Dangerous position.
Doesn't he play in the same team?
Yes, he does.
To his credit, Nate Miles just simply got up off the ground, played the ball.
So they're going to take the 2. Which will, of course, take them out to the 2 converted tries.
I'm not interested in that
What
ball.
do you mean you're not interested?
I'm not interested in it.
Can I tell you or can I talk
No,
about
not that. You can ask query questions.
asking you a question. I'm asking-
You're making a statement.
The penalty that's been taken by Jonathan Thurston after Greg Bird had been penalised. He wasn't placed on report, but penalised for placing Nate Miles, one of his Titans teammates, in a dangerous position. So Coach Meninga, happy with what he's looking at here tonight. I remember him saying a few years ago, I want 10. I want 10. He got 8.
And he'd be happy with that too as well, to put his side 12 in front, 2 converted tries. You like to lead by 6, 12, 18. We'll say brings a field goal possibly into play if it remains that way late in the game.
The player that you were saying looked more dangerous for New South Wales was Cordner, and he's been replaced now by Aaron Woods.
Yeah, that's why I'm not coaching, right?
No, I wasn't picking on that. Just saying that he had a surprised look on his face, Cordner, when he came off. And I recalled what you'd said. But Aaron Woods has gone back out there and Boyd Cordner's come off. Here's a penalty. And now it's more than a penalty, isn't it? What's happening here?
That's Greg Bird down, and he was the man who came in and made contact in that tackle.
That's what he's claiming.
First up.
I think he's appealing for an elbow to the throat here from his
Can you check
teammate,
the carry, please?
Titan teammate Nate Miles.
Bird is clutching at the throat, is he not?
Walk away.
That's Nate Miles and Greg Bird.
Benny.
Separate, please. Go back. Robbie, can you take him back that way, please?
He's led
Back
by
close.
There's a suggestion he's led with the elbow.
You've raised the forearm going into the tackle.
was up with her.
Mate, you've raised the forearm going into the tackle. On report.
And Nate's on report.
Penalty to New South Wales.
Can I ask a question, though?
Yeah.
So, in this set, if Aaron Woods runs at me and puts it up and I go down, it's going to be out.
Mate, he's raised his arm. It's a penalty, Cameron.
As soon as I
I'm not
raise
going
my
to.
arm,
I'm not going to be what if. What if?
right down.
That's right. Can you play that, mate? Slow down.
Cameron Smith, QC.
Hypotheticals. Jeffrey Robertson.
What if?
So the Blues desperately need a try. Bo Scott is coming back into the game. I notice in the corner of the eye. Greg's come off, Greg Bird. Farah then, away they come. Hodkinson, then it's away to Dugan. Dugan will score. Dugan scores for the Blues at the southern end, the Caxton Street end. And a touch of irony, Hodkinson involved.
Have a try.
He's got a try,
Check
Ben
for obstruction,
Cummins.
please.
Well, Dugan, I said, has been running with great purpose tonight.
Well,
He's got himself a try.
It's a set play using Jared Hayne as a decoy. Josh Dugan comes from a hidden position and appears late. You see Josh Dugan's hiding there behind Hodkinson. And watch Jared Hayne. He leaves early on that sweep line, and he's the decoy runner that keeps Hodges out. And that's where Dugan appears straight through the middle. That's a try.
Very well executed. Players running into the gaps. Queensland defence sliding across. They'll be claiming that one of their defenders was in fact impeded. That's not the case though.
You're happy with it, Walt?
Oh yeah, that's just a well executed play. There's only one player, I think, Sturlo, that was in question.
Ryan Hoffman here is the player that goes through
And he ran to the inside, not the outside.
of Cooper Cronk.
They're looking whether Dugan catches the ball behind Ryan Hoffman. He catches the ball just on his outside.
Is that seen as a shepherd, Joey?
I think so.
If he catches the ball on the inside.
Well, he hasn't caught the ball yet. It's
Well,
still in the
he
air.
has. He's got the ball there.
And no players impeded.
The Queenslander is Cooper Cronk, I'm pretty sure, and I think he's chosen to go for Hoffman.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's in real time. It's fine, and we're going through to have a look at grounding now. They have awarded a try on field, so that will be backed up.
So here it comes. The Blues need this to stay alive. They've got it. This is a must. This is a must, this one, for Trent Hodkinson. He really needs this one. So away it goes off the right boot, and it's lovely. Brett Finch on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, hasn't Josh Dugan had a wear of a series? Moved to centre for the first time in his career. Dragons coach and New South Wales trainer Paul McGregor, they took the gamble on it, and he's just been absolutely sensational. And I seen him there with Mary McGregor after that try. They were extremely happy with each other. He's done a great job, Josh Dugan.
Cameron Smith. I think it's going now. We've got 6 points the difference. And what have we got? We've got about 18 minutes to go. Holden State of Origin. Origin 3. There's nothing dead about this. This is good stuff. Lewis is with the ball. Farah goes short into Woods. 3 Queenslanders pile on top, and of course they take a time to peel off. It's all about slowing the play of the ball down. Lewis to the 40-metre line. And then Farah goes to Gallen. Gallen got a ball into Hayne. Hayne has broken through. He's got one to beat. He passes to support. It looks like it might be Beau Scott, is it? Goodness gracious, how did he get there? Now it's come across. Hodkinson with the ball. He throws a long ball. Josh Morris puts a kick in. Did the Queenslander play at the ball? Dived on by Hoffman.
Well,
change over, not play that.
As a Queenslander, I can honestly say I'm glad the Blues came to the left-hand side. Had they have gone right, I believe, Joey, they would have scored.
No, it was 5 on 3 to the right side.
Time back on, go.
The performance of Beau Scott, though, he was there for Jared Hayne. And Nate Miles goes up, Gallen goes in, Hodkinson's there.
Double change by the Maroons. Daly Cherry Evans and Dave Taylor coming to the bench. Corey Parker, the man with the football now, who's been magnificent tonight, is back out there along with Sam Friday.
So 14-8 in favour of Queensland. And they're all over him, so they're doing a penalty to Queensland.
So this is a dominant tackle from the halfback here, Trent Hodkinson. And he puts Sam Friday on his back here. In the process of Sam trying to get up and play the ball. All the advantage should be with Trent Hodkinson here. You see it's a great tackle. He puts him on his back. There's got to be some leeway there.
Some reward for the domination in there. Here is Corey Parker, 15 away from the Blues line. He was in Origin and they didn't need him, then they were called in, and certainly one of their star players, particularly in this game, and Slater is chased down by Woods. 12 out from the line, that's what they are, look, in the centre. Smith, here's Lily Maurice. Granite-like. 3 metres out, feet on the line. And Smith goes across and just drops it back in the lap of Nate Miles.
He's lost the ball. New South Wales player has it. Garrett Holmes.
Luke Lewis. It was interesting that there may have been more than one in the tackle, but I think it might have been an attempt to stop a try where you're allowed to steal the ball. It doesn't have to be one-on-one. It can be more than one. So it depends which way the referee deemed it. Was he in the process of scoring the try?
They're short of the line.
Well, that's 4 tackles now, Ray. They are 12 out from their own line, New South Wales. They need a booming kick at the end of this. Oh,
Reynolds got it off to Scott. With renewed vigour out there. And here's Reynolds now. Gallen's there on the blind side. Payne is there. He puts a kick in. Boyd goes back and covers it up. Reynolds makes the tackle. Queensland back just on their own side of halfway, and Slater throws a long pass out to Cronk, and they go quickly across to Chambers, and Chambers is taken by Morris. So Cronk again scooping it up from dummy half for Hodges, and Hodges runs a long way, up to 20 metres, and taken by Daniel Tupou. Smith on the way from dummy half, and again making many metres with very simple plays here, Queensland. 25 metres away, Cronk with the ball onto Thurston, dummied inside the Slater, went outside, Inglis got the ball away, not Inglis, it's come away and gone to Thurston. It was Gillett that passed the ball when nearly on the ground, played just outside 30, now it's gone to Cronk, puts a kick into the corner, in behind McManus, gets a good bounce, and then decides to sit down on the job. That's the best surrender I've seen.
Oh, they got there a little bit later than he expected.
Payne.
Well, Queensland's concentration at the moment will be about keeping them in their own territory. Next time they get the ball, though, it could be stretching the lead past a converted try.
Coming outside the 20, Darren Lockyer sideline.
I'm Cameron Smith here. He's limping around. We saw in game 1 he had that sore ankle, but he's not looking great. But we know how tough he is. He'll soldier on.
Bird is back. I don't think they could have kept him off. They would have nearly had to put him in the straitjacket to keep him off. So he's back out there now. Played that ball. Reynolds driving down. There's Billy underneath it. And running it back at 45-degree angle across the ground. And Woods is there waiting for him. Woods and Farrell. As I said, they've expected to play against Mann on Friday, as is Cherry Evans on the other side of the equation. Played by Chambers and Thurston from that half to Lillyman. He mightn't be flash, Jacob Lillyman, but he grinds out the yards, doesn't he? He always looks like he hurts the defence.
Well, there's a penalty back in them.
What's happened there with Slater in back play?
Ray Scott cleaned him up on suspicion.
Oh, really? So here is Parker. 25 out. 5 tackles. They have gone. And they're going to Cooper. Billy's after it. And Jared's under it. And he comes down with the ball, and he's got Greg Inglis wrapping him up and taking him down. Hodkinson there. Dugan. Hodkinson looked at McManus and thought, no, I'll go back here where the numbers are, and Gallen it is. So the 15 goes back into the game corner. And an offload from Bird, and then a little duck under by Farah. A little bit of burrowing. Robert was down that way. They couldn't catch him.
Queensland have got to concentrate in their defence. It's only going to take one missed tackle.
10 minutes to go, Wally. And here's a kick that's been charged down. It's gone rocketing back down towards Farah. So it's with Farah now who goes away to Bird.
Yeah, that's a good break for New South Wales as Dugan does exactly that. Didn't need a charge down there unless it led to a try. It's just given the Blues an extra set in possession. Here's Cordner.
Have a look at this. It's Hodkinson. And it was Thaiday. He got him right smack bang on the melon. So even the fact that he was off the head, there's no knock on, but just the nullification of the tackle count. Again, we're going into Victoria World. Gallen has thrown a pass that was
Go you good thing.
totally unnecessary. Wally in the background, go you good thing. Hodges is with the ball. They play it back to Guerra. The dummy half has got himself offside. It's a penalty to Queensland. Now Reynolds is and Hodges. Reynolds and Hodges. And away from that, in another disagreement, we've got I think it's
You do
Corey
not come in
Parker
low. You've no need for you.
Gallen.
and Gallen. Make it Chambers and Gallen.
Yeah. Walk away, please.
Well, Hodges has had enough of the most recent menace in town.
A couple of really poor plays from New South Wales there. The offload from Paul Gallen was never on, and midway through the count, and then Josh Reynolds tangling himself up in the play the ball area. Wally, when is Cooper Cronk looking to make it 7 in front?
Yeah, well, unless they want to get greedy, which they've got the right to be able to do, if they've got confidence, I'd go on the 4th tackle, Sterlo. 5, they'd be setting themselves for a great charge through, get in one early.
Or do they go for a try for a set or two and soon know?
I'd try and book it as early as possible.
Parker able to get the ball away again. How did he get rid of that ball?
What a great game.
Gee, he's left me amazed at his offloading ability tonight, particularly. Out back with Lillyman, and they're right in front of the uprights.
And they're going for more.
And they're going to keep going, are they? Looking at Cooper. He's away to the right. They've gone the other way. Decoy, Thurston, decoy.
Oh, there it is.
Darius Boyd levels up the record. Darius Boyd has got 15 and levels up with Greg Inglis. Well,
It's a great play from Queensland. They persisted and persisted. We'll see the Harvey Norman replay. New South Wales outside defenders come up, they come racing in. Goes McManus into no man's land, and Darius Boyd wraps it up.
Jonathan Thurston then in game number 30. He's only got 7 in front of him for more games. Oh, lovely kick. Lovely kick, but not surprising. Not surprising. Kickers in this game. Here's the pass. Here's the predicted pass that Joey was talking about. Bingo. And what a ball from Thurston. What a ball from Thurston. And one of the great finishes in this game from Mudgery Bar. Darius Boyd. Now this isn't going to go 10. It'll be a penalty. Penalty back at the halfway. Well, the Blues, they haven't been alone in what seems an apparent failure here tonight. It's happened before, happened many, many times. And to come here 2-zip, not many have been able to do it. I think they did it in 86 and 96. Yes, I'm sure they did in 86 and 96.
I was part of 86, Ray, and the biggest margin in those 3 games was 6 points, 6, 4 and 2. It's a series Queensland could have won 3-0.
There you go. And that magic number of 18 has long been eclipsed. 28 points tonight. Added to the 30, so 58 points so far in Origin of 2014. Cronk, Thurston, Thaiday, 10 away. And Hodges, they're working crosses here. Now he goes across, he drifts and here's Guerra. He's going to reverse over to score. Aiden Guerra was denied one earlier. And this young, enthusiastic player from Bondi, he gets this try at Origin level.
And he's not an overnight success. He's had injury concerns. We're down in Melbourne. He's in his mid-20s. And Justin Hodges threw a pass earlier tonight to put Billy Slater in. I think New South Wales were particularly happy. They thought it might have been forward, but on the Harvey Norman replay, there's no problem with this ball at all from Justin Hodges. The outside defender's just going up a little bit too quickly. Aiden Guerra spinning as he catches the football, gets the fend into the chest of Josh Reynolds. And they are really finishing in style now. They set this up with their first 40 minutes.
Boy, what a couple of runs he's had across. Very rarely ventures to the left-hand side of the field, Justin Hodges. And it's reaped its rewards tonight.
Conversion attempt of the try scored by Aiden Guerra, his first points in Origin. And Jonathan Thurston has got it on a string. Winding it back, 4 minutes to go, 26 plays 8. Cameron Smith will become the first player, and that's for sure now. Cameron Smith will become the first player to win 20 Origin matches with this tonight. And It's a just reward. Although I find that hard when I think about Darren played 36 matches. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying Smith's playing his 33rd here. 20 tries in Origin. 20 wins in Origin, I should say. He'll rack up tonight and become the first player to do that. Taylor, who had a birthday yesterday. We talked about Mal Meninga having a birthday. Taylor had one yesterday. Darius Boyd celebrated his birthday a little bit early. He's 27 years of age in a week's time. Thurston plays the ball. Smith goes away. They look to me as though they're still not finished. And Guerra is tackled 25 metres out from the line.
I don't want to labour the point, but this offloading performance from Corey Parker tonight, as good as I've ever seen. Last tackle now, deliberate kick for Billy Slater. 1-on-1 with Hayne.
And it's come down, and luckily there was a backstop there in Farrell.
Here's 10, Nate!
Slater is half dislodging the shoe. Tupou. 3.5 minutes of Holden Origin to go. New South Wales the champions, but Queensland dominant tonight. Laurie Daly looking on, proud of his players, obviously. This was always going to be a hard task. He was interviewed earlier by Brad Fittler, a wonderful interview, I must say, from Brad Fittler. And I think Laurie might be a little starry-eyed. For those that saw the interview, he might be a bit starry-eyed after all of this. Chambers goes running back. He runs hard. There's only two speeds. It's stop and full speed. I like him, Chambers. Halfway line. Wonderful birthday present from Mal Meninga as well. Peter pointed that out.
Here
they go again. I thought they weren't finished, and Cooper goes in to score. Well, isn't that deserving? Given the fact that he broke an arm here 6 weeks ago, and he battled to be fit to play in this game, the one that everybody wanted to call a dead rubber. It wasn't for Super Cooper.
No, he's a tough competitor, and physically very tough along with that, and playing straight. Aidan Guerra just threw an arm tackle on the Harvey Norman replay. Cooper Cronk backing up on his inside. His second touch in that movement. Josh Reynolds there, just caught out from the run from Guerra. And you mentioned the last time that New South Wales came here, Ray, having won the series, I think it was 36-6, but we're going to get a very similar scoreline.
We are.
At the end of this one tonight.
Yeah, 2003 I think you're referring to.
Jonathan Thurston here now, who's kicked beautifully tonight. He hasn't kicked as well this year at club level as he would have liked. He set a pretty high standard during the course of his career, but boy, they pinged off the boot tonight.
That's only his second Origin try. This is his 14th game, and he's only scored one try before that one.
He's been involved in a few.
Absolutely right. He can put it on threepence, this kid. And it was a big dent in the Queensland aspirations when they lost him after 10 minutes in the series. But as I said, he loves this game so much. He fought to be fit enough to play in this game. Thurston converts. So Cooper Cronk got the second try. It's 32-8. Now it does bear a remarkable similarity to that last visit here when in a similar situation. Presentation will take place, of course, afterwards to Laurie Daly and his players. He's embracing the players there on the sidelines at the moment. He'd be sad, obviously sad, but at the same time, Mal Meninga would be a relieved man that they've been able to scramble something out of this series. A series that Mal obviously was hoping would be number 9. New South Wales will receive the trophy, and it does seem a shame that they're not able to do that in front of what was 84,000 people in Sydney 3 weeks ago. So hollow is the word. About to be played by Corey Parker, and had an amazing game. There's the siren. Origin for 2014 is over. New South Wales are the champions. Queensland win the final game 32-8.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports in partnership with the National Rugby League.